Welcome back. The high price of grain has increased the need to capture low-cost gains on calves during the stocker phase. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter has more from Queen Farms in North Carolina.
Some small steps can represent enormous financial leaps for producers looking to get ahead in tough economic times.
There's a lot that you can do to maximize performance of these cattle, hopefully before they go out into grass, and that would entail working with a local veterinarian to develop a good health protocol for those calves. Ideally, looking at using a good 5-way modified live vaccine like Pyramid 5 would be. Using a good 7-way Clostridial vaccine would be key, and then using a good anthelmintic product to deworm those cattle before they go out on pasture, a product like Sedectin, and then to capture some weight gain advantage of those cattle while they're out on pasture, an implant like Synovex would help capture some increased performance in those cattle. That, along with other management practices like pasture rotation or managing the forages, would help maximize the performance of those cattle.
Using all available strategies just makes sense, according to longtime stocker operator John Queen.
We learned using implants, excellent vaccination programs, and good BQA practices that adds value to our livestock. We try to promote that among our producers out in the country here, in our county and in neighboring counties and all across the state. We use the Synovex implant here at home and have for years and years. The implant is very important. We've learned even in the 45-day weaning period here that if we'll implant the cattle when they arrive, that it gives us better weight gains just in the 45-day period. So we're very, very favorable to implants. We've had implant studies here on our farm before where we used 3 or 4 different implants, and then we had a control group of cattle. And every time we did that, I think we did it on 3 different occasions, we came out with like a 30+ pound gain more in a 100-day period with the cattle with implants as opposed to those without.
We understand that all implants will always make you money if you'll use them correctly. Management is real important to us. We try to handle the implants properly, and administer them at the right time is another important thing to us. But they are an important part of our program here. Use all the resources you can to do it correctly, and it will make you money. Every product that you use in this industry is only as good as it's being given, and I think that's real important.
The best way to administer the implants is to hopefully have that done before those cattle go out to grass. If it has to be done at the sale barn or at your own facilities, what's crucial is making sure that you restrain the head, because you are implanting those cattle in the ear, so making sure that you restrain the head is going to be critical. That, along with making sure that the ear is clean, making sure the implant needle is clean, is also going to be critical. With the development of alliance programs and retained ownership programs in the beef industry where we're at today, making sure that the implant doesn't hurt performance in the feed yard or also quality grade is critical. And there's been a wealth of information from the university, research information, that has shown as long as the implants are given correctly in a logical manner, the cattle are not over-implanted, there's adequate nutrition going into these cattle, you can keep the performance you picked up on pasture, keep their performance all the way through the feed yard.
There's room in the industry for all kinds of cattle operations, including natural and organic programs that avoid implants. But producers who want to stay in business should consider all of their costs.
You need to make sure that you're going to benefit from that program and have the added value that you will get paid for not implanting. A rule of thumb, we can say, mildly, that we will make $1, per pound of gain that's given by an implant. So basically you're looking at would you swap 79 cents for $20? I think that's pretty much a no-brainer for anybody.
There's been a lot of discussion about natural cattle, and it's a segment of our business that's important because there's a certain customer base out there that wants that type of product, but it only represents less than 3% of our beef production from a retail standpoint. So there's an opportunity for the other 97% of the cattle to take advantage of the implant. One implant doesn't necessarily fit every stocker situation. We typically recommend a product like Synovex C, which is designed for calves, something you would give prior to those calves being weaned, and then we would typically step up the dose to a product like Synovex S, which is designed for steers, or Synovex H, which would be designed for heifers. The objective of today's progressive stocker operator is probably first and foremost is to help develop some economical gains of these cattle before they enter into the feed yard. With feed costs where they are today in the feed yard, if we can keep up the gains out in pasture, out in the stocker operation, that's going to be one of the ultimate goals for the operator.
I'm Brian Baxter reporting.
To learn more about implants and educational information offered by Fort Dodge Animal Health, visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.